Hey there. Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you all here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. So, we're here today starting a new series for the month of May. Yeah, April's gone already. Can you believe we're already into the second month of spring? Yeah, it's just, to me, it's actually, this is the third month of spring, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I'm not quite sure about that. Anyways, so we're going to be doing a new series, of course, this month. I had several topics that I was planning. I decided that one topic was a little bit too early from the last time I did something similar to it, which was another year, ranking the songs of a specific year. But we just did one not too long ago. And so I decided I'll just let it rest for a bit. And so I decided on this topic that we're doing primarily because I from my albums I bought, my new albums I purchased last month. There was an album in there that I really was happy to get, and decided, you know what, I should do a topic on this whole concept of these great one album bands, like bands that did a fantastic debut album but didn't do anything else, and this. So that's what intrigued me to do this. And I've also watched a few episodes lately of a few other channels where they did this exact same thing. And I thought, you know what? I have enough albums, I'm sure, to do one of these. So starting this month, we're going to be doing my, I guess you would call it my 31 favorite kind of one-off albums or one album wonders, whatever you want to call it, from those bands that only put out the one studio album. Now, some of these bands have since put out tons of live albums or collections of songs they've done and stuff like that, but they only had that one studio album. So we're going to do that topic for the month of May. And so I decided to start out with an album or a band, if you prefer, a band and their album that I've all long known about the album and have actually heard bits and pieces of it over the years, but never really got into it, primarily because it usually falls in a genre that I didn't care much for. Some of the musicians in it haven't really done much in my history, so I just kind of didn't follow it at all. But then I'd listened to the album in recent months. I listened to the entire album and said, you know what? This is actually quite a bit better than I would have probably given it credit for. And so I decided to include it here in my series for the month. And I don't own the album, but I've listened to it its entirety now since I started planning for this and decided it's got to make the list. So I'm going to put it here, opening up we'll call it an opener. In baseball, they call it an opener. He's a guy who comes in and pitches one inning instead of a starter. We'll call this an opener. So the album I've chosen is from Blind Faith, their one and only self-titled album, which I think is quite good. Probably wouldn't have given this even a listen to even a few years ago, but since I'm a lot more open-minded than I used to be, I decided you gotta put this album in here. Many people would probably put this album much higher. Most of the lists I've looked at, trying to make sure I didn't leave anybody out, have put this very high on the list. I don't think I'd go that far with it. The thing that kind of intrigued me that I wasn't expecting is the amount of acoustic work on this album, which is quite good. I was expecting it to be more blues dominated and have that kind of maybe a little bit of that Cream sound or a lot more Eric Clapton feel to it. But it had some pretty solid acoustic stuff to it. That was probably the reason why I just chose to put it on the list. So my first album on day number 31 will be Blind Faith's self-titled album. That's what I'm going with today. We have 30 more to go, 30 more episodes to go for the month of May. So I hope to hear from you all throughout the month on this topic. So please hit the like and subscribe. If you want to make any comments about anything I've said, you can do that in the comment section, where you can give me one of your bands that you think belong on this list. So take care Have yourself a good evening and a good afternoon, and goodbye here from the Prog Monster.